Hey everybody, it's Justin, your guide into the other side. Today I want to talk about the newest announcement of news related to Legends of the Mara with regards to Odas, your Kodas, your Kodamaras, your vessels, and each class of them. So let's jump right in and see the tweet storm that we got from Otherside Meta, right? So the quest to return the Oda to Otherside will unfold over the course of its seasons. So as they learn how to farm and fend for themselves, Odas will acquire new skills and set out on adventures to explore the wilds. But first, you'll need to train them to contend with the dangerous path ahead. And right off the bat, we can kind of see each role of the vessels and, what class they're in, right? So we have the Enchanters, we can kind of see them conjuring spells and magic and, kind of doing some fun wizard stuff. And then we can kind of see with regards to the farmers, they're pulling out like the sediment fragments that are at the sediment layer of your vessel, right? So you can kind of see your Otherdeeds sediment layer, and you see the fragments here. And then at the very last, we can also see the fighters. We can see a Koda, we can see a Koda charging at a Shattered, and we can also see like two action items with regards to like attacks or maybe buffs, etc., etc., right? So it's definitely going to be interesting. Let's jump right into the next part, which is the farmers, right? So farming, right? So first block that we see here, your camp is your armory, where you will form your team in preparation to hunt and farm. So the fragments and the loot that you acquire by farming and hunting are deposited here. So all your loot goes to your camp. And then your camp is a part of your deed, right? So if you sell your deed, these fragments come as part of the deed. So it's going to be important to manage your resources and hold on to your deed so you don't lose all the stuff that you need in order to craft, build, etc., etc. So if we move on to the second block here, sediments stream from the core of Otherside. So every season, a new limited supply of fragments may be harvested, right? So once all the fragments have been harvested, the core will remain depleted until the next season. So it seems to me there's a limited supply of sediment fragments that come out of the sediment layer when you put farmers on them. So as these deplete over time, it's going to be important to, plan or strategize for that to, at least have enough stuff for the next block, which is fragments can be blended with a catalyst during the ritual in which Maras transform into Kodamaras. So the Oda have yet to discover all the potential benefits of these fragments. So again, it seems to me that there is a ritual. So is that time-based? Does that mean there's only going to be one, opportunity to evolve your Mara into a Kodamara, maybe at the end of the season? Will it be multiple? I got a couple questions, but overall for the farming block, we have your camp is your armory. It stores all of your stuff. It's tied to your deed, so that's going to be important to hold on to your deed. Your sediment fragments, which are harvested by farmers, are going to be, there's a capped supply. So that's seasonal as well. So it's going to deplete and replenish each season. So that's very interesting. And then evolving your Kodamaras is also important. So let's jump right in to the next block, which is the hunting block. Super excited about this. We can kind of see a Koda getting absolutely stepped on by a Shattered Titan. So that's super cool. So Odas moving in packs are more effective than at killing than lone Oda. So it's going to be important to effectively strategize and cooperate in teams of Odas or whatever to fight the Shattered fighters. So again, the more hunters you have, the faster your team can take down Shattered. So okay, that makes sense. And then to maximize your damage output, layer and time your special skills and buffs. So with each new season, Odas will acquire new skills and be able to execute more complex combos. So it's going to be interesting and very important to kind of understand like how these, abilities interact, time up, and synergize with each other in order to fight Shattered over time. So that's interesting. And then lastly, Kodas are experienced hunters, right? Their possession of weapons increases the chances of delivering critical hits. So their hidden powers to these weapons that have yet to be discovered. And honestly, looking on Marketplace, there are a lot of Kodas with a lot of cool weapons and stuff. Very unique. Definitely okay. It makes sense. Maybe we'll see some have critical. I guess some can increase have better chances at delivering critical hits. Maybe there's a I guess, damage buffs or stuff like that. We'll see. So overall, very interesting hunting block. Pretty simple, straightforward. And then we get to the last block, which is the enchanter part. So, enchanters need to remain rooted to the camp for their buffs to be active, right? So Kodas and Kodamaras assigned to enchanting cannot participate in farming or hunting, right? So we kind of knew this from the gaming blog at the beginning. There's going to be a separate, a separate slot in your deed that will be revealed later that can hold your enchanters to root them to the land to, do their magic essentially. And what do they do exactly? Enchanters boost the skills of all the Odas assigned to their Otherdeed camp simultaneously. Okay, simultaneously. The more Enchanter Mars you have, the faster your farmers will farm. Okay, so that's important because it's going to increase your farming ability or your farming production. So you're going to get buffs that way. And the better your hunters will fight. So it seems like it's simultaneous. It's not like it's not like you choose to buff, one or the other. I guess it's both per this verbiage. Correct me if I'm wrong, Yuga, in the comments, please. But when utilized correctly, enchanters will provide a great advantage to any team. Very interesting. Very interesting. So overall, what I can gauge from the enchanting, block is that enchanters is going to be able to, help you do either things that you want. They're like optimizers essentially, and they're going to be important to shaping the end game, over the long term, right? So if that's something you're looking at, definitely check out enchanting. So, as we bring it all back to the beginning, these things are the enchanters, the farmers, the fighters. We're going to grow over time. It's very interesting to see. I'm curious to see how the gameplay will evolve over time, as well as we get more abilities, etc., etc. And then I'm curious how the farmers will impact the core of the economy, right, with regards to, how they're needed to evolve Mars into Kodamars. And then lastly, I'm curious how to see the end game plays out with regards to enchanters being that optimizing, little cog in the machine to make your other core elements go that much faster. So again, let me know let me know in the comments below what you're deciding to pick up. Are you going farming? Are you going fighting? Are you going enchanting? Are you picking a bunch of both? Are you just waiting it out? Let me know. I'm in the Discord, so you can catch me on Twitter. I'll see you guys around. Peace.